What is up, guys? I had a lot of fun talking about who could be the next playable Skullgirls character, and I realized from the comments that this game has a surprisingly deep roster of NPCs with unique designs. So I decided to make a follow-up video and, talk about some of them. But before that, oh god, I'm still laughing. Before that, I want to share with you this wonderful gem. Alright, hold on. Alright, I blocked out the username because it's a deleted comment, and I'm assuming this person regret what was said or decided it wasn't worth posting in public. Alright, he said, it's gonna be someone like Black Dahlia or Bloody Mary. Every video I've seen about this is people saying who they wanna fuck, not who's realistically up to be on the roster. Umbrella? Boring. But I I laughed at this comment for a good 10 minutes. I don't think this should have been deleted, because to be fair, you're not exactly wrong. I mean, I don't try to hide it. I'm a Minette simp, so I naturally want her in the game, whether or not it's realistic. The difference is I own up to it. Anyway, I don't know if you guys realized it already, but this made me laugh so much because this comment mentioned people talking about who they want to fuck, and the first name brought up after that sentence is Umbrella. Okay, I mean, I know that you weren't trying to imply that, but I guess I have to put it on record. Okay, I don't want to fuck Umbrella. However, I don't speak for the rest of my viewer base, so if y'all into that, just leave me out of it, alright? That's between you, your god, and the FBI. But in any case, whoever you are, thank you for this comment. And don't worry, I do get the whole point of what you were trying to say. It's just that the timing of Umbrella's name coming up was just so funny, man. Yo, good job, dude. You got a good laugh out of me. Alright, so what are we talking about again? Why am I recording? Oh yeah. We talk about who's next. Alright, since it's already been mentioned, and it's been mentioned in a lot of comments, let's start with Black Dahlia. Okay, Black Dahlia would be a great choice in general, and it's strange that I forgot about her in the first video. I guess it's because I haven't touched story mode in a long time, maybe that's it. But yeah, she would make for a great addition to the roster because she has that grenade launcher which can translate to slow, heavy-hitting projectiles. Like they can do this thing where it's really slow, but it's also unblockable. They could even do this cool stance switch thing where she has a melee form and a ranged form with like a reload mechanic. That would be pretty sick. I think gameplay wise, there's a lot that you can do with her. But personally, she's not that high on my list. And it's the same reason Marie isn't that high on my list as well. I think Dahlia and Marie fall under what I call boss archetypes. And this might be a hot take, but to me, part of the identity and menacing aura of these types of characters have a lot to do with the fact that you can't use them. Like, the idea of seeing Marie or Dahlia getting beaten up in high streak prize fights or in Rift just feels so off to me. And I just feel like a lot of their charm comes from the fact that they're inaccessible. But, of course, this is a matter of taste, right? And for people who don't really care about that kind of stuff, Dahlia and Marie would be amazing additions to the playable roster. Yep. Stanley. It's because someone mentioned Stanley in the comments, so I might as well. Gameplay-wise, there's actually a lot they can do with him. He's a scientist after all, so he can come, equipped with all sorts of contraptions like death rays and lightsabers and exploding butt plugs and shit. Plus, he's a shark, so he can have this level 3 blockbuster where he just bites people's dicks off. But, honestly, I'm not into the idea of Stanley as the next character. But it's mostly because I have a waifu bias. If Stanley was redesigned as a sexy female shark, chances are I would have a different opinion on the matter. Alright, next we have Leduc. If one day, while I'm getting my teeth cleaned, the dentist chair comes to life and tries to murder me, this is exactly how I would imagine it would look like. But seriously, as much as I love waifus, I gotta give it up. This dude looks sick. To me, he's the Skullgirls version of Adolf Reinhardt from Terraformars. And funnily enough, when I read the lore, they both have abilities revolving around manipulating electricity. And naturally, this can have a lot of amazing gameplay implications. He can have tons of power surge effects on his special moves and blockbusters, and they can introduce a new like nerve paralysis debuff that can be the opposite of immobilize, where you can move around but not be able to use basic attacks. Good stuff. And the design is really cool. I can imagine a lot of good palettes that translate well into him. Alright, next up is Brain Drain. Not gonna lie, he would provide some really cool gameplay for sure. He can have a moveset revolving around telekinesis. Like, I'm imagining a combination of like Doctor Doom and Magneto from Marvel vs. Capcom games. And I think it would translate really well. But personally, I'm not feeling it. Maybe I'm misrepresenting him, but he gives me the boss vibes the same way Marie and Dahlia do, and he just seems more menacing when he's not a playable option. Next we have Eon, who is the goddess of time. Now that I think about it, she looks a lot like the nun that Double impersonates. She does feel a bit generic compared to the other characters I've been talking about. And being a goddess of time might make it hard to translate into gameplay. Imagine shadow puppet shenanigans, but more than once per match. I just feel it could lead to a lot of bugs, glitches, and exploits, and the payoff relative to making her work might not be worth it. But hey, I could be wrong. I'm not a designer, alright? I just enjoy talking about the possibilities. But for Eon's sister Venus, the goddess of space, there might be potential to work with here. First off, she has a more interesting design, though I do worry about her outfit, especially in the winter. I guess she is the goddess of space, so she can just move to someplace warmer. But yeah, space manipulation is pretty cool, and she can maybe, open portals and do different things like summon meteors or suck opponents towards specific areas with black holes. This is one character who I feel will be really fun to play, especially in Second Encore in particular, because she can maybe, teleport around the stage and cross people up all day. However, I have to point out, they are literally the goddesses of time and space, And just like the boss archetypes, it might feel out of place having Eon and Venus, fighting with the rest of the playable cast. Next is Deep Violet. Design-wise, she fits right in the One Punch Man universe, don't you think? The whip looks really cool, which leads to, obvious but fun gameplay. She can have a mid-range command grab with the whip, similar to Mary Gorilla. She can have a projectile with a snake from her whip spitting venom. They can even integrate a new poison debuff that can cause, damage over time and decreased movement speed, that kind of stuff. Overall, this one's pretty high up on my list because her design has a lot of personality and a lot of unique characteristics that can translate well into actual gameplay. Alright, so someone mentioned Easter in the comments, so I thought I'd discuss Last Hope as a collective. Any one of the Last Hope members would, in my opinion, be great additions gameplay-wise. This could be due to bias because I'm a doctor and I have a really soft spot for nurses. But yeah, the problem is, if you're familiar with Valentine's origin story, it's kind of hard to justify making them playable. Unless, of course, they do a major plot twist that makes this justified lore-wise. And we're back to Minette. I realized that all I've been doing with Minette was just talk about how much I want her in the game, but, not a single mention of how she could translate well into the playable roster, from a gameplay standpoint. So I thought I'd cover that for a bit. Because, a lot of the negativity around Minette being playable revolves around the fact that she's just a waitress in the story. But honestly, you'd be surprised. The waitress persona can lead to a lot of personality and creativity in gameplay. Like, she can throw knives, food, and plates, or whack people with frying pans or the cash register, that kind of stuff. She's also a fish lady, so she can even have this Aquaman thing where she can summon a whale to smush people with its giant dick. I mean, seriously, there's a lot more gameplay potential than you think, especially on mobile. They can make her the first pure support type fighter, even more so than Valentine. They can give her variants, absurdly low base attack, but with a lot of her specials and blockbusters providing buffs, healing, or extra meter to her teammates. She can, maybe drop dishes on the ground, and when a teammate picks it up, they get healed, stuff like that. It would add a lot of variety and flavor to combat. Not sure about the balance portion of it, but yeah. I mean, just the idea and the potential's there, right? And yeah, it's no secret. I really want her in the game. Yeah, right? Fine. She is the first fish to ever make my PP the big PP, okay? Okay, so that's it, guys. I'm kind of milked out. This is most likely going to be my last video about this, but if you want me to make maybe one more video to talk about other NPCs, let me know as well. Maybe I'll change my mind. Overall, I did enjoy guessing who's next, and hopefully you all did too. Anyway, thanks for watching. Wait. Seems like I forgot about Adam. I mean, come on, man. I draw the line at Ricardo, okay? Come on. Justin Bieber?